'Twas the night before Christmas. Have you heard the story? We read it every year on Christmas Eve at our house. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Tiny stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled snug in their beds, while visions of yummy treats danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap were just settling down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and yanked up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew my head in, as I was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed like a woodsman from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and I shivered with joy when he opened his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but quick as a wink, he filled all of the stockings, then turned with a blink. As soon as his work, leaving presents was through, he nodded farewell. Up the chimney he flew. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all sped like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. That end. There's an author's note. As a child, my father read it aloud on December evenings when the Christmas tree shimmered with tinsel and strands of colored lights warmed the living room. As an adult, I read Moore's version to my own 3 children. I collected many picture book versions of this tale and delighted in the ways illustrations can tell a story as powerful as words. So that brings up a good point. This was by Clement C. Moore, and there's many different versions. Okay, so originally it was by Clement C. Moore, but this Daniel Kirk, he made his own version, so they call it adapted. He adapted it from the original story because this story has been around forever and ever. As a matter of fact, this was the version my husband's parents would read to him. And again, it's by Clement, what's his name again? Clement C. Moore. This is the one that I used to read to my kids. But you can see it's the same story, but the pictures just look a little different. So a lot of times, authors aren't really the original authors. They adapt them from stories that they heard as a kid and kind of make them their own.